Good morning from Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport. Despite staying in the nice sunny paradise in the south of Thailand, it's been very stressful trying to coordinate a possible route in getting home. I was looking at many different options of flying from Thailand to Asia, Australia, and even Europe just to get home to Vancouver. And this is the worst I've ever seen it trying to fly out of Thailand. I ended up looking at 50 different options from Bangkok, and in the end, all but 2 flights had open seats on them. Just about every flight leaving Bangkok was full. Of these 2 flights, both to Hong Kong, one was on Hong Kong Express. Checking in was no issue, but on their fares, you're only allowed 20 kilos of baggage. I had 22, my mom had 23. They ended up charging about 500 baht per extra kilo. My least favorite thing about flying out of Bangkok and many different airports in Asia on standby is they can't give you a seat till check-in closes 60 minutes before departure. The airline ground staff are supposed to give you a pass for the express security and customs lanes here, but unfortunately we just didn't get one today. So after a lengthy customs lineup, it was a mad dash to the gate. While running, let me tell you about Hong Kong Express. HK Express is a low-cost carrier fully owned by Cathay Pacific. They operate all economy seat A320s and 321s. They also have a few Neos both in the 320 and 21 variants. They operate regional flights to parts of East Asia and different parts of Southeast Asia. With barely 10 minutes to spare, we made it to the gate on time. Funny thing though, we weren't even the last people on the plane. Today's 3-hour hop over to Hong Kong is this 3-year-old Airbus 320 Neo. My seat was 30F, the second to last row in the back of the aircraft. This seat is very similar to Nok Air, but newer. We got an okay amount of pitch with an actual seat back pocket. The tray table latch has a small coat hook built in, but the table itself is at a fixed distance. The seat itself can actually recline, and it goes back a moderate length. I'm happy it's becoming more of a common feature, but unfortunately these seats do not have an adjustable headrest. Once those late last-minute passengers showed up, we pushed off the gate and made the taxi towards the runway. Despite the craziness of flying as of late, even when writing this script, I hope that things will calm down and have a better sense of normalcy next year. Once at cruising altitude, let's take a look at the offerings that are available. They have a decent food offering, but I didn't end up getting anything, and I even think they only had cups and noodle soup available. They also have a cool catalog of merchandise for sale, and it's stocked on the flight. They also have discount tickets for different trains in Japan, including the KC Skyliner from Tokyo Narita Airport to Ueno. But to be honest, I'd recommend the JR Narita Express over that. I slept most of the flight, but towards the end it was time for a lab visit. It looks like here that Airbus took a page out of Boeing's book and removed part of the galley for the labs. This is so they can add an extra 2 rows of seating on the aircraft. It was as basic as can be, but it didn't feel as cramped as a 737 MAX. More specifically to this lab in the back. And it was also kept fairly clean too. Right as I was done, we were on approach to Hong Kong. The approach took us around the many islands of Hong Kong and right over Kowloon. This was definitely one of the coolest approaches I've ever seen. So to sum it all up here, yeah, I'd recommend Hong Kong Express. They got the job done fairly well, and the onboard staff are nice. They're good if you're looking for cheap flight options, or more or less an escape plan trying to get home. Thanks again for taking the time to watch a short little video, and I'll see you in the next one.